Happy Halloween. It's our Halloween show, man.
Super Citizen Awards.
You're gonna die.
We're gonna have great people there like Ellen Sauerbrey, and Kim Clayton, if you can make it.
Great.
Sheriff Jeff Gaylor, Johnny Ray Sailing, who I hope will call us tonight, so Valerie can sing him happy birthday. And I mean, just a whole bunch of people. Jordana Farelli from the Eastern Shore, who knocked out Black Lives Matters.
Right.
Brenda Myers from Vince's Craft. They're all getting awards because they became super citizens. I guess that's a new or something. So that's going to be a great event. So just mark that in your calendars. If you're on the database, you will get a mailer on that one, and you will hear more about it. So Patrick, let's start off. And by the way, this is an open show also. You can give us a call at 410-922-6680. That's 410-922-6680. And I am in costume tonight. I am dressed like Ron Savage.
Look out.
And Ron has a mask on. He doesn't have...
You mean the Green Hornet?
Yeah, he has the Green
mask.
Hornet mask on. He doesn't have the regular mask.
Every year.
And with his mustache and hat, he looks fabulous.
Marvelous.
Marvelous. He's marvelous.
Thank you.
All right,
thank
so,
you.
Patrick, you presented a theory at the event as to why you believe President Trump is going to win and win big. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and my theory, and I don't want to get down in the weeds about this because it involves numbers, but fundamentally, yes, I believe Donald Trump is going to be reelected on Tuesday night. And I also believe that the polls really are not wrong, and put big quote marks around.
So this is
wrong.
the interesting point, that the polls are not wrong, which show Biden ahead, but Donald Trump's going to win anyway.
Right, and yes, and fundamentally, it involves a principle in survey research sampling, and that principle, and I think all people in this biz agree, that whenever you conduct a sample survey, everybody within the universe has to have an equal chance of being interviewed. So we have for argument's sake, we're going to say there are 150 million voters at the end of the day.
It looks like that might be the number.
That's 10% over what it was 4 years ago, and which is a big increase.
10%? Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly 10%, and 10% doesn't sound that big, but it is big.
Well, as of today, it's 90 million.
Which blows
so
my
we've got
mind.
Sunday and Monday, right?
And then Election Day, yes.
So this is going to be like 110 million.
Oh my God.
And then Election Day itself.
Oh my God.
Which is when the Republicans vote.
Exactly. But anyway, my theory fundamentally revolves around, in a perfect world, if the polls could be conducted properly this year, then the universe of polling would be the 150. I submit, and I have a strong sense, that a number of people in the universe of voters has taken a walk and has gone into hiding, into polling, what I call
they're not in the polling system.
They're not, yeah, that's a fine way of putting it. And why? Because for 4 years, by the dominant media, they have been demonized as racist,
harassed,
for white supremacists, whatever other pejoratives they can come up with, for one and only one reason, because they support Trump. It's that simple. And people, when they are threatened with being called nasty names like that, tend to keep their mouths shut.
Yeah, and you don't blame them. They've been successfully intimidated. But you and I both know, Patrick, that traditionally there are a large number of people who are outside the system that will not respond to polls under normal circumstances, right. And a lot of them are Republicans. Now, under these circumstances, with what you just laid out there, it's probably 100 times worse. So you're right. So that you're talking about, I think you said 20 million real voters.
With 20 million would be 15%, about 13%. Yeah, about. Which again,
Carolyn, yeah.
These are real voters. And we think in terms of
happy Halloween, Carolyn.
Yes, the majority problem are Republican.
And Carolyn, tonight's going to be a blue moon. We haven't had a blue moon in quite a while.
That's not the common denominator. The common denominator is they don't think as the mainstream media wants them to think, and has tried to coerce them.
They haven't been deceived and manipulated.
And you said they've been intimidated. Yes, they've been intimidated vis-a-vis
to be careful.
offering their opinion, but they have not been intimidated with regard to exercising their vote. That they will, and in all likelihood, because they have been treated this way,
that's motivation.
They're probably more likely to vote than they otherwise would have.
That's right. That's a good point, and that's a good theory. And here's the deal now. One of the people who's very close to Trump and very high in his campaign I spoke with last week, now this was a week ago, and he said the internal polling indicates that they are up in all the battleground states, including Pennsylvania. So he had no reason to mislead me. He's a friend of mine. And basically, that kind of reflects what you're talking about, because maybe when the Trump people do internal polling, they capture some of those folks.
You try to do what you can to recognize that. And
but now here's one I heard, and I'm very anxious to present this one to you to get your opinion on this. I heard it today in passing. I don't know, some people may not pay much attention to things they hear, and I will qualify it. It was on CNN, okay? But one of the pundits said that 30% of the people coming out to vote in the early voting are under the age of 35. Now, what does that mean? Because normally it's not that high.
Well, let me offer this. And I was talking to my buddy who has brought me into this business, the president of Mason-Dixon Polling, which has been around.
You're getting real serious.
Actually, longer than Gonzolas research.
Yeah.
And I've been around a while.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And this is what we were talking about, that very subject, which is we think in terms of young people being very anti-Trump.
Yeah, millennial snowflakes.
Okay, but let me offer this, and this was born out of the conversation that Brad Coker and I had, and I asked him, I said, brother, how many people under the age of 40 have gone to college? And he said, I'm not sure. I said, well, I venture it's probably less than 50%.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Those that have gone to college and been indoctrinated by the professors at the Ivy League schools, sitting up in their ivory towers with all these wonderful theoretical explanations of life and the meaning of life and stuff. Yes, they have been trained to despise all that is this country and all that is the current incumbent administration.
Happy Halloween.
But if half of young people don't go to college, well, perhaps this time they have been motivated to come out and express their will through the ballot box. And perhaps they're not like their brothers and sisters who go to Harvard and
Would you
Yale.
like to talk to them? It's an open show.
Well, that's a very good point, because they're young people who work for a living.
Maybe they're plumbers, electricians, candle makers, bakers.
Working at Walmart.
And who's that? What's your name?
Well, I can substantiate that a little bit. We live in Middle River, which is basically a working class, middle class area.
Good neighborhood.
Although it's getting a lot of $1 million houses now, because Middle River is on the water.
Exactly.
Love one.
And when you're on the water, you're on the go.
Right.
So it's changing.
No, not at all.
It's amazingly changing. Valerie and I were driving
great.
on
I'll put you right up here on
Road
top,
on the 43. And my God, $400,000 houses that are being built
And
there.
it's a blue
It's
moon.
amazing. But anyway, here's what I noticed. That we drove by, what's that called, Compass Road? Victory Villa.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you're wrong.
We drove
I
by
love when you
Victory
call.
Villa almost every day this week.
Hold on,
and they've been wrapped around, one of these as far as you can go.
That was Bob from Parkville, but he might flip out again. No, he will.
They wrapped us around the building, looped back over again and down the street.
Yeah.
And this was at, you'd look 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
All day. But here's the point I want to make. We observed who was voting, and we noticed, and I said to her, there's a lot of young people, but they are young people from Middle River, Essex, Dundalk, Parkville. Those are not, I'm not saying they're not college graduates, but even if they're like our millennials that work for us, one's in law school, another one's at Hopkins, they're from the east side, and even though they've been bombarded and brainwashed, they're still conservative Trumpers. So there's a lot of those folks. And then we went up to Honeygo, and up in Honeygo, which is Perry Hall and Kingsville, you sell the same thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that maybe hopefully you're right about that, but that's only our vision for here, you know, what we see. So,
but Pat, I come back, I look at that, and I hear that number, 90 million, and that's pretty where we're at, right?
Yes.
That boggles my mind. And you know what? This is my...
Yeah, I think it was 53 million last time.
Yeah. This is what I believe. This expression that we're seeing right now is not an expression of hatred for Donald Trump. It is an expression, in Patrick's opinion, of love of their country.
Well, that's a fascinating, and I don't see why that would not be accurate. To me, I would feel the same way. So we're going to end this first segment here on this note. We want you to ponder, you folks listening to us. You know what pondering is. I'm not sure, but...
I've got a dictionary. I'll look it up during the break.
Well, here. Ponder the great thrill and entertaining experience you will have on Tuesday evening, late, on CNN, to view the knuckleheads sitting there looking like they are smelling bad gas or they've been hit in the face with shovels.
It might not be that late Tuesday night.
I'll tell you, I'm going to say that you're both wrong on that. I'm going to say it might go into Wednesday and Wednesday afternoon, because you're going to be hearing this. Make no mistake. Oh, there was cheating at this poll.
Oh yeah.
They can slow it down and hold it up, even if it's an overwhelming victory. Sure. Donald Trump was talking today at his rally, and in the last election they held up Pennsylvania for 4 hours, even though they didn't bring it on till 2 o'clock in the morning, even though he had won it fairly by good margin. So they're going to play all kinds of games. It's going to be, but that night I don't think they're going to be happy, because they are expecting the total opposite of what you are talking about.
Yes, they are.
All right, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. This is one of the best crab cakes in town. That's what you will say after having a great crab cake at the Krabby Greek.
Krabby
Greek is open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And here's where it really gets great. The Krabby Greek caters 7 days a week. Just call 410-494-9144 for your catering needs. There is also a full menu available, from the Greek-style octopus to that great crab cake we talked about.
Oh, no, it's too short right
Plus, there is live entertainment. You can enjoy authentic Greek music and the comfortable outdoor dining room.
Right now we got
For more
2 minutes and
information,
45 seconds.
call 410-494-9144. Once again, the number is 410-494-9144. Do something special. Check out the Krabby Greek.
Yeah!
Back to work at that job, the one you realized isn't for you?
Yeah.
Well, that's if you're lucky, right? Make your move. You can start a new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months from the comfort of your own.
I tell you, folks, want some produce, go to Ben's Produce. All right, Ben's Produce right here. The best produce around. Go right to the market. Pick what you want. You own a store, you're going to have the best product around, the best fruit around, and you're going to have best vegetables around. You're going to have it right there at Ben's Produce. Call them at 410-799-1833. 410-799-1833. Ask for Benny Sedano. Tell him Ron Savage sent you. Ben's Produce. Now, look, I'll tell you what. You want some good tile work? Go to Vince's Tile Work. Vince does all his tile. All bathrooms are wonderful, and you go right there. He's the owner and operator of his own company. He takes care of everything. Trust me. Now, you go to Facebook and look under Vince's Tile Works and go on his photos. You'll see all the work that he does right there in the bathroom. Tile work, bathrooms, tubs, sinks, everything. You're going to have a great view, and you will see what I'm talking about. Vince's Tile Works. Go check him out right there on Facebook.
Most of us want to make some kind of difference.
You want to go to a nice place? You want to take it easy? Or you want to go to a place where, geez whiz, you know, where are we going to go and get everybody here? Well, you could rent a hall. I'll tell you, where's this at? It's Johnny D's. I'll tell you where that's at. Johnny D's is 1705 on Moose Sky Road in Parkville, Maryland. You can dial 410-665-7000 and ask Johnny, or hold a table for yourself. Hold a table for yourself. You have a little business meeting, go in the dinner area. There's a portion back there that can be closed off for private private parties, private meetings. You can have it right there at Johnny D's, right there at 1705 Moosker Grove. 410-665-7000.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's
WCBM, the McDonough Show, on South
Find
Speaking.
out how you can help at stjude.org.
The left used to demand that we become energy independent.
Oh, we're going to go to a commercial. What's your name? Who's Johnny? And where are you calling from? Oh. Okay. And what would you like to talk about? Okay, hold on please. Hold on please.
On Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
And now back to Super Citizen Radio on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Super Citizen Radio. We are with you every Saturday evening from 8 until 10, along with Valerie McDonough. Our special guest tonight is Polster Patrick Gonzolas, talking about the election. It's an open show. And Patrick, you're working on a project right now.
Yeah, no, I am. Gonzalez Research has joined forces with a group, Amigos of Baltimore County. And the group is right now undergoing a Christmas toy drive. And I would just encourage everybody to try to help. It's Amigos of Baltimore County. The executive director is Ali Ivanovich, and her phone number is 410.
Did she let you put that phone number?
Yes, she did. I talked to her. 410-900-0920.
Did she let you put that number up or what?
410.
Mike Damsel, woo!
0920.
Yeah, baby.
It's Ali.
Let's go hunting tonight. That's right.
Amigos of Baltimore County.
We should do that.
That help for the kids of the
There we
community.
go.
So thank you.
Is there a website?
I got my mask on, man. Come on.
I think it's Amigos
Now,
of Baltimore County.
Me and Mike
Right now,
Damsel
I'm
will go
excited
hunting
to
tonight
announce that
on a blue
Donna
moon.
Schifferelli,
Amen.
our attorney and Naval
Hallelujah.
Academy instructor from the Eastern Shore, Ken Island, who single-handedly destroyed the Black Lives Matter.
I was on when the last time I was on. She called in. What has progressed since I was on?
Well, no, I don't. I'm just exaggerating a little bit.
Well, I like exaggerating.
But we love Jordana, and we're going to give her a Super Citizen Award on December 19th. She'll be there, and her husband is running for the job of Board of Education.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're trying to sweep new people in.
Santa Grasso,
She's
woo!
doing all the things a Super Citizen does. She fights, she set up her website, and she paid a price. She paid a price, which is talking about intimidation and what these people who want to take this country over are really all about.
Yeah.
Very scary stuff. But here is our friend Jordana.
Hi,
Jordana, thank you for calling in. Appreciate it. Want to hear from you. What's up?
Hey guys, I'm very, very happy to announce that our hard work to raise awareness against political indoctrination in public schools in Queen County, as it is everywhere in Maryland, is actually ringing a bell. People have started showing up since Monday in record numbers.
Wow.
They are literally flooding polling stations coming out to vote. And they're all voting for our writing candidates, Mark Schiafanelli and Helen Bennett for District 3. So what we did we organized on the local level. We were literally going door to door and getting people's attention and awareness. Do not allow political indoctrination in public schools. Please stop Project 1619. Please don't let politics into classrooms. Please get the kids back to school. And we started fighting. And since June, we can see people coming out in record numbers and writing in Schiff and Helen Bennett. I mean, we're going to be winning in a landslide. I think we're going to make history in Queen Anne's County as the largest historic turnout for a writing candidate in history of our county.
Wow.
This is very, very exciting, Jordana.
Well, Brother Freddie Herman.
And I can tell you.
Freddie Herman, God bless him. Happy Halloween, Freddie Herman.
Talk about you.
Moving night, baby. Come on, let's move some cars like we did.
We'll have you on as a guest.
On Shannon Drive.
But we're going to honor you on December the 19th. because you and all the efforts, not only you, I know there are other folks that have worked with you, but you are an example of what we want people to understand is possible, because so many people are frustrated, they're angry, they want to fight for their country, they want to fight for their kids, but a lot of times they throw up their hands and say, well, you know, what can you do about it? And when we give examples like you and your success story down there, people get, you know, gain confidence, and they're ready to go to battle and go to war. So you are a great classic example. And in Baltimore County, now your county is a small county, Baltimore County, 836,000 people, 7 seats open for election starting next year. The radical left and BLM are all set to go. They're already organizing to win those 7 seats. We've got George Soros has already given $3 million to the Baltimore County teachers to brainwash them and how to instruct students in Black Lives Matter, curriculum and principles and things like that. And you know that him and Bloomberg and all the rest are coming into Baltimore County, invading our great county, transforming it and conquering it. I like to use the word conquer. And they're coming in there, and can you imagine if when they win that, that they are in charge and have all the power over 120,000 of our children?
Yes, and
that's scary. That's scary.
Fear that I'm getting up every 5 o'clock. I'm hitting the polls at 7, and I come back at 8 p.m. So that's a 13-hour shift, and I've been doing that since Monday.
And you're a lawyer and an economist. You must be getting a lot of money per hour. You're getting at least $15 an hour.
I'm not getting anything. This is volunteer work. Exactly. So this is, I have and everything on a standby, because there's nothing more important than our children. And once it hits the kids level, once they start recruiting kids into social justice warriors, they're using the most precious people in our community and brainwashing them with this idiotic 60-19 new history, social justice, something insane to divide and dumb down. And every morning I'm like, this is for the kids. I'm tired. I can't, we had hurricanes here. We were flooded 6 inches of rain here on Eastern Shore. We were soaking wet, standing on wind and rain, 13-hour days.
Well, you're a true patriot, and you are a super citizen, but let me ask you this question. I'm sure everybody out there who's listening to the show would want to ask you this question. Patrick and I are talking about the election and the polls and our experience and everything, but you have been there this week.
Yeah.
You have faked it. Now, what kind of dog is that?
It's a pit bull.
Oh my God! So it's got a pit bull for a mommy, and it's a pit bull. But okay, so anyway, you have been there. You've talked to people. You've had an opportunity to gauge, and of course, I know it's a conservative county. But what is your reaction? What are you hearing?
Trump all the way, and Andy Harris. I mean, we had Andy Harris running in our District 1. Against a Democrat candidate who's trying to take over that seat. And we're saying, look, this is not about Trump. It's about preserving the Constitution in our country. And if you look red down the line, we're going to end up BLM in our...
And would you like to talk to Pat tonight?
Down.
Yeah. All right, so you're getting a good feeling. Of course, like I say, it's a conservative county. Valerie was at the polls over at Victory Villa, and she was getting some of the folks you talked to who were working the polls, Valerie.
Oh, no, yeah, you could definitely springboard off that, Rich.
Everything was positive. It looked to me like it was Trump territory.
You're welcome.
I did not see any Biden voters, not one.
No.
And everybody, like I said, they were all cordial, and it was kind of funny because I believe it was yesterday, we actually went up to a poll in Harford County, and it was
in a minority area,
and it was quite different. And but you could walk right into that poll.
There was no line.
There was no line, and what was
that called? Edgewood. Edgewood up along Route 40 up.
Edgewood.
And that's a predominantly
where
minority
Freddie Herman is, where Edgewood
Recreation Center, I believe it was. And what was interesting about it was, since I was going to vote, you and I were going to vote, we had to vote provisional. And we just walked right in and just came right back out.
All right, Jordana, stay in touch. We'll get you back on again next week and find out how everything went.
Thank you. And I want to tell your listeners who are listening, please go support Kim Classic. We need her in. Let's everybody get this state of Maryland turned that this state red. We are fighting on the Eastern Shore, but boy, we need everybody to mobilize, and only together will make this state great again.
All right.
God bless you all.
All right, thank you, Jordana.
Keep up the good work.
So anyway, Valerie and I did go up to Edgewood because we had heard that there's not a big line there, and there was no line, none whatsoever. So which was pretty amazing. It's like an oddity, an anomaly, right? So we go in and we have to vote provisional ballot. We've never done that in our entire life.
Why did you have to?
Because we were from a different county.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That was Harford County.
Gotcha.
So the process is you have to fill out a whole application, which is, I have to say the bottom line before I get started, is I'm proud of the process because it does really protect votes. You have to fill out an application.
Protect your vote, man.
And then you have to fill out the voting part, and you have to have your driver's license things, your numbers. They put all your numbers on there. They check it on the computer, and then you have to roll it up
And your
personally,
Cuban identification
in
card,
an
man.
envelope,
Right.
and then they put it in a bag with a lock and key on it, like a sealed bag.
Right.
So they're very careful,
Wow.
so that those provisional ballots are not tampered with.
Yeah.
To that point, at least.
Yeah.
And Valerie, of course, with her personality, was not happy that she had to go through all these steps.
Her shy, retiring personality.
Yeah, I thought that snub nose was going to go off in a minute. But
Well, the truth of the matter is, I wanted to know why I had to show my driver's license for a provisional ballot, when if I would have gone in my own county, I do not
well,
have to
they
show
need
one.
that information that protects us.
Yeah, but see, the other way, without when I go to a poll somewhere else during early voting, in my county, I don't have to show a driver's license.
Because you're not in your county, and that is because...
Excuse me, if I would have went up to Compass Road, I would have been in my county.
Yeah, but you were not. If you recall, you were in Harford County.
I understand.
Now,
But why are we not showing our driver's licenses when everybody
you're
goes
saying
to
they were
vote?
in the reverse.
That's exactly what I
said. In other
said.
words, yeah, and they call that suppressing voting, which is BS. But we should identify ourselves, and if we can do it there, right?
Right.
But to be fair about it, our provisional voting system, as far as I'm concerned,
Works.
not for cranky people.
Right.
But
right.
everybody should go and have to be able to produce a valid driver's license when they go to vote.
Yeah, and also with provisional voting, you have to go through all these things, and then they take you in a corner and they beat you for 15 minutes to make sure that you were telling the truth on what you wrote down.
I would like that.
And I must go and say this, you were one of the first people, Pat, that tried to get that passed in the General Assembly.
Oh yeah, I introduced that a few times. Yeah,
many years
but
ago.
you're not getting that past the Democrats. All right, let's take another call before we take a break. We'll talk to Bob out there in Parkville. Bob, good evening.
Well, good evening to everyone. I just wanted to say that when you think
Here comes
about
Bob,
this,
man. Look out.
I lost a good man, my second favorite actor of the last 60 years,
Yes.
Sean Connery. My favorite actor, number one.
CBM, the McDonough show, Ron. Sarah speaking.
Good combination.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
Carol, okay.
Man, too, not these phones that running around today.
Where are you calling from, Carol?
Didn't try to get Clint Eastwood to run that.
And where'd you like
He would have won.
That's tonight.
Hands down. Nobody would have beat him. That's what he did at the Republican convention about Obama. Remember the empty chair incident and all that?
Right.
And he's a great man. Both up 90 years old, but Sean
Well, that's great, Carol. Start over
He made
the
everyone's movie
perfect scoop
every
out,
day.
and springboard off of that.
Got to know.
All right, thank you. Hold on, please.
He made either of those guys fine characters, and he played in the original 8.
Yeah, he was 90 years old.
Yes, he was. So is Clint Eastwood.
They're one of my favorite. I can't think of the guy's name though. I'll think of it. It'll come up. He was like, he falls into that classification of Clint Eastwood and Sean Connery. He falls into that group. And he's 90 years old. And he used to make a lot of movies, not making them.
Your listeners, I hope they know they have to turn the clocks back tonight. In case they didn't know.
I told him.
But I wanted to get into this thing about Nancy Pelosi and Biden. I was a member of the Catholic.
Oh my God! To hear those two names together.
Became a convert. I left the church about 5 years ago because of the pedophiles and the cover-up of it. The big thing, too, was the cover-up of the Catholic Church. They would take one of these phony pedophile priests, like up in Cardinal Law up there in Massachusetts. They owe the people up there, those boys and girls, they owe them almost $500 million, $500 million.
Oh!
And that's how many lawsuits they've had. And they're taking the Catholic Church, several of those churches up there, going broke. And but they deserve what they got. I'm glad I left the church, and now they're going to recognize civil marriages, from what I understand, as procreate. That's another thing. Two men living together, and the Catholic Church is going to recognize it as a
That's right. I think it was an edict. Was it an
edict?
edict?
He's already signed it. And
well, he's dividing the Catholic Church, just like the Anglican Church was divided. And we talked about, what was the guy's name? Meeks. Pastor Meeks. It was a
Father
priest.
Meeks.
Father Meeks. He was an Anglican priest, and now he's with the Catholics.
Yeah.
And he made some great speeches. And I think we have that information. We want to get that on our TV show.
Pelosi and Biden, they're proud, they say that they're proud to be Roman Catholic parishioners. They go to church every day.
I'm going to count the time till I need a smoke break.
How in the hell can you go
Here goes.
say you're practicing Catholic when you're for abortion on demand all the way up to the 9th month and perhaps even later? How the hell can you say you're a Roman Catholic when the principal thing?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that
the church is life itself, and these unborn children, there's over 60 million that have been slaughtered.
it's hard to believe that Pelosi or Biden would lie about anything.
Nah.
Be hypocritical.
That's the worst thing you can say. You talk about hypocrite.
Bob, we got a break for the break.
You ought to be outlawed in the church.
All right, my friend. Thank you for calling. Take care. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back, and we'll ask the pollster, Patrick Gonzolas, about black voters and what's the other one we want to ask him about? Black voters and Bernie voters.
Bernie voters.
And what's happening there. We'll be right back.
Any trick-or-treaters in good shape early will see partly cloudy skies, more clouds later on. Fall back to around 40, and we are looking at some coastal flooding concerns for the evening hours. Don't forget, roll the clocks back an hour. We've got a frontal system moving through for Sunday. It's going to bring the rain, and we'll get up only into the mid-to-upper 50s. Stray showers early for Sunday night. Gradually clearing. The overnight low falls back to around
There you go.
45.
I'll be right back.
So down throughout the night. Mostly sunny and cool Monday. Jeff Eno for the Weather Channel for Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Are you always apologizing for your dog's behavior? Need help communicating? At K9 Concepts, we can solve your problems. The answer to your problems is a phone call away. Call 410-477-2000 for a free demo evaluation. Call 410-477-2000. Obedience, protection, handicapped assistance, boarding, grooming, puppy preschool. Visit K9Concepts.com. The best for your dog. Call 410-477-2000.
The IRS, the world's most aggressive collection agency. They can seize your property, bank account, and garnish your wages. They cause sleepless nights for millions of Americans. Don't be one of them. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, get protected today. Call 800-312-9970. Coast One Tax Group, protecting your bank, home, and your sleep since 2008. With hundreds of 5-star reviews and an A+ on the Better Business Bureau. Call Coast One Tax Group, 800-312-9970. Stanley from New York owed $93,000. The IRS placed a levy on his bank account. Coast One released the levy and settled with the IRS for $2,000. Mark in Michigan owed $225,000. After Coast One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-312-9970.
Back to work at the that J-O-B? The one you realized isn't for you? Well, that's if you're lucky, right? Make your move. You can start a new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months from the comfort of your own home, even if you have zero computer experience. Take control of your future now. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Paid for by Bar Justice. Attention. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? Zantac may be linked to these cancers: bladder, colorectal, esophageal, intestinal, kidney, liver, ovarian, pancreatic, stomach, testicular, and uterine. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months, call now. Never stop taking medication without first consulting a physician. Call right now for a free consultation. Call 800-379-9550. 800-379-9550.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve.
Have your finances been impacted by the COVID-19 coronavirus? Don't assume your credit cards and loans should come last when prioritizing your bills. They are not automatically protected if you can't pay, and there are programs that can help. If you are experiencing a reduction in income, loss of a job, or any difficulty paying your bills, the NFCC can help. We have a national network of nonprofit financial counselors who can assist you
WCBM
during this difficult time to get you the plan.
Hey, Pesh, how you doing, Pesh?
Nonprofit financial counseling.
It's so cool to know you now.
And we aren't offering.
Oh, it's great to meet you.
Instead, we are
you just hold on, get right on.
Providing real solutions for real challenges. Don't wait for things to get worse. Connect with a nonprofit counselor today. Call the toll-free number on your screen or visit nfcc.org/stopdead to learn more.
When your vehicle needs help, Jeff's Automotive Services
wait a
is
minute.
the place
Let me turn
to
this
go.
down.
Your vehicle.
And who's this? James Boyd? Okay, you got it. Hold on, sir. We'll get you right on.
Jeff's Automotive
Pat.
Services is locally owned and conveniently located in the heart of Essex. 313
Pastor Lewis on the air.
Tell him James Boyd's on lot number 9.
Okay, he's on Pastor Lewis, right?
Yeah, Pastor Lewis is on 1. I got that for
let him
him.
know, so
Oh, I
just
did.
try calling.
Who was on?
James Boyd,
Who's that?
congressman from the other state, he says told him to call.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
We gotta take Pastor Lewis first.
Okay. WCM.
Valerie, find out who that is that he's talking about there.
The one you realized isn't
Laurie.
for you? Well, that's if you're lucky, right? Make your move. You can start a new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months from the comfort of your own home, even if you have zero computer experience. Take
Hey, Laurie, tell me real quick, because I'm going to go on here. We're going to talk about
mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Okay, hold on. I'll get you right on. Hold on, please.
Calling in a lawyer.
Go.
Welcome back, everybody.
Who's
And
that other
before we
person
talk
calling in?
with Patrick Gonzolas about the
Hello,
black
can I
vote
help you?
and also
Yes, who's this? Okay. What time is it? What time is it, Bob?
Oh, right now it
Yeah.
is 8:48.
All right, could you call us a little after 9, Eugene? Yes, after 9. Okay, it's Valerie. How you doing, honey? Okay, just wanted to make sure. All right, because I wasn't sure who it was that was calling one, because the lines are going crazy over here, so that's what that's all about. All right, thank you. Bye-bye. He's going to call back the 8 after 9.
Okay. WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show. Who's calling, please? Hi, Bart. And where are you calling from, Bart? Okay, and would you like to go to pen? Oh, that's great. All right, we got you in there. We got you in there, Bart. Just hold on. Okay. Wow.
We pray, of course, that our leader will continue to be Donald Trump, and he is a friend to the Christian. Mr. Trump is a proponent of religious liberty. He recognizes the sanctity of life, which is more than I can say for Nancy Pelosi. He also has proven to be a friend of Israel. But my question is always, are there enough righteous people in the land for God to withhold his judgment? This is a nation that is crying to be judged because of our sins of abortion and homosexuality. So our prayer to the Lord is that he would continue to be gracious and continue to bless our land that he has given us.
Well, prayers is good. At least, and I think that's going to make the difference. Pastor, always good to talk with you. We will be seeing you in the near future, and thank you for all the help you've given us.
You got it. God bless.
God bless. All right. Now, here's someone wants to call in. We're going to talk about the black vote, the minority vote in a minute, but let's talk about provisional ballot. And this is Carol, who is in Rosedale. Carol, good evening.
Good evening. I first wanted to ask you, can people still register to vote during early voting?
Still register? I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I don't know if we have registration all the way up to voting day. No, I think the registration period has passed. Somebody can call in and correct me on that.
Yeah, I thought it was October the 13th, but I thought on the ballot that we received, there was something on the bottom of that.
Well, you can get the ballot in. You have to have it postmarked by November 3rd, and then they have some extended time after that for counting.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I'm concerned about is that the Board of Elections, having removed people from the rolls and they don't realize it. And so when they go in, they can't find their names and
then they get a provisional ballot.
I know, but if they're not registered, it's not going to count. And that's why I'm asking, because if
I see, that's a good point. Yeah, if they're not registered.
Over 1,000 at the Victoryville or provisional ballots. And if they are not really registered and they think they are, but they've been removed, if they can still register,
I don't think so.
Go back and
well, somebody's going to correct. I don't know. It's like complicated, but the point is, if you've been removed, you have to be removed for a reason. And if it's a reason that actually matters and counts and is legal, then you're not registered to vote.
Well, because some people don't vote all the time.
You have to vote in so many elections.
Right.
All right, well, thank you, Carol. Somebody might give us a call and kind of explain that a little bit. But, Patrick, I want to ask you, first of all, about the black votes, minority votes. Maybe you can touch on the Hispanic votes, too.
Yeah, no, a couple of points. I think the number that they pegged for Trump with the black vote in 2016 based off the exit polls was 8%.
8%.
8%. And now, I don't want to put too fine a point on this, but in the recent Maryland poll I just completed, I had Trump's number 10% of the black vote. Now, that doesn't, yes, it's within the margin and all, but it's the thing about that vote is even a little incremental gain such as that, if it were to increase 2 points, that would be significant.
It is.
If Trump...
Republicans and conservatives generally lucky if they get 5%.
Right. And so if Trump all of a sudden gets 10, 12, 14, 15% of the black vote, when all is said and done, this election is over. And the Democrats know that. And that's why the Democrats and the media have made such a concerted
Same thing, right, yes. And that's been 4 years of phony racism.
And my gut tells me right now that I think, that is possible. Now, there are many out there, there are some out there touting numbers of 20, 25, 30% support in the black community for Trump. I've never seen that. So
anything like that,
I can't speak that, but it doesn't matter because, again, if Trump gets 15% of the black vote, theoretically. Calling the dogs at 8:01, this election is over, and it is a landslide for Donald Trump. Now, the Hispanic vote is a very interesting thing. My buddy just completed a 4-state big poll of Hispanic voters for Telemundo that was released a couple days ago. He did Florida, Texas, Arizona, and Nevada. And what he found in Florida, and most particularly caught my attention, his final numbers were 48 Biden, 43 Trump. Now that's a 5-point spread. In 2016 in Florida, Hillary Clinton, while losing the state, captured 61% of the Hispanic vote, again based on exit polling. Now, if that so that is a 61-30. That is
huge.
And actually, with third parties, it's more. Trump probably ended up with 35% or less. So now we're talking about a 25-point spread. If that 5-point spread is even close to being true, this is going to be a landslide.
Yeah, Florida,
now, but the Hispanic vote is important in a lot of states now. Arizona, Nevada. If that 5-point spread from 4 years ago is in play kind of across the board. Now, Florida's unique because they have a huge Cuban population that's traditionally very Republican, but still, they have a huge Puerto Rican population and Venezuela.
Yeah, the other Hispanic populations besides the Cubans.
Bottom line is, we can compare apples to apples. 21 points, or probably 25-point spread 4 years ago, 5 points now. That's across the board. Then all of a sudden, Arizona's not even a worry. Nevada is potentially flips. New Mexico potentially flips, even Colorado, because Colorado has a big Hispanic population, potentially.
So what we can say, I'm going to get one more call in before we break for the news. What we can say is in the minority voting, whether it's Hispanic or the black votes, things are looking good for Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, yes. The numbers that I am seeing...
If those numbers are accurate.
And that I trust, yes.
All right, let's talk with Richard in Delta, PA. Richard, good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Well, I got a quick question for your guest. I wasn't really, I'm a little slow, I guess. I didn't really understand. He said that the polls are right, but Trump is going to win.
Yeah, and if I can try to explain this real quick. My contention is the polls are measuring a universe of 130 million. And within that universe, the polls are pretty accurate.
This is a heck of a show, man.
The total voting
Y'all stay on, okay? Because
we're
going to go to the second hour
that they can't capture because these people will not talk to anybody, particularly someone calling them on the phone and asking them who they're going to vote for out of fear of being labeled, you know.
There's a number, 410-922-6680. Give us a call.
Out of the 130 million, let's say for argument's sake,
from out of state,
Biden is up by 12 million.
Out of state, 1-800-922-6680. It's a free phone call, even if you're calling from Cuba.
You put that 20 million on top of the total of the 130 to take it to 150. All of a sudden, Biden being up by 12 million, he goes down by 8 million. That is kind of my hypothesis in broad sort of general terms. And don't be, I don't want to put too fine a point on the number, but that's the general consensus. So the polls are right in the sense of what they're measuring. I submit that it's almost impossible for any pollster to measure something that you can't find.
All right, Richard.
Right.
Yeah. So we have 1 minute. You want to make a comment?
Well, yeah, you might be right, my friend, and but it still just bothers me greatly that Biden could have even that many votes.
It's amazing that anybody would vote for that guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I want to say, Pat.
The guy, he's a thief. He has cognitive problems.
Yeah.
He's Sleepy Joe. He's
a Sleepy Joe. He's a hyena. Let me see what else.
I can't think
the grabbing of young
about
children's hair.
Because that's only my opinion, and I'm not biased.
If I was interviewing him for a job, I would say, "You've got to be kidding me."
Well, you could put him chief thief. You could do that one. All right, thank you, Richard. Thank you for the call. Yeah. So, how much time do we have, Ron?
We got about 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Well, that leads me to say the following then. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, audience, for tuning in. The next hour will be even more exciting. We have some more guests coming on, some secret guests, very exciting guests. I'm looking forward to talking with a young man who is in a very important area. Valerie, we have 5 seconds.
Don't forget, everybody has to go out and vote.
They do?
Yes, I want everybody to go out and vote for Trump.
And what do you do to them if they don't?
I'll have to beat them with a stick.
That's dangerous talk, but I'll tell you from experience, that could happen.
Well, you're now 4'11". Remember that. You
No,
were
I
6 foot.
was 5'11". I used to be 6'4" when I married you.
Well, that's true.
And if I
Stay
married
connected with stimulating talk and breaking news on Talk Radio 680 WCBM, Baltimore, and WCBM.com.
Barnstorming battleground states. I'm Joe Shearer, Fox News. The presidential campaign's packing in all the events they can in the last few days before the election.
Mr. President, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Former Vice President Joe Biden and his former boss, President Obama, campaigning in Detroit and Flint, Michigan, ahead of Tuesday's vote.
The belief in hard work, and family, and faith, the belief that everybody counts, that's who Joe is.
President Trump with 4 stops crisscrossing the state of Pennsylvania.
Joe Biden will shut down your economy, wipe out your factories and shut down your state, ship your jobs to China, raise your taxes.
The president with 10 more campaign stops planned in 2 days, ending where he wrapped up his campaign in 2016. Grand Rapids, Michigan, on Monday night.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. More than 89 million Americans have already voted. Vice President Mike Pence had 2 events in North Carolina today where early in-person voting has ended. Records have been smashed in North Carolina for those who preferred not to vote at the Election Day precincts. Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris had 4 stops in Florida. The latest Fox News poll shows Biden still with a lead nationally.
The latest Fox News polls for the election show President Trump needs to pull off an even bigger upset this time around. The president now trails Joe Biden by 8 points, which shows he's actually gaining ground. He was down 10 points earlier this month, this time 4 years ago. Hillary Clinton led by only 4 points.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. And Philippine officials say a super typhoon has slammed into the eastern Philippines with catastrophic violent winds. About 1 million people have been evacuated in its projected path, including in the capital, Manila, closing the main international airport. America is listening to Fox News.
New from the Fox News Podcasts Network.
My name is Kennedy, and welcome to my podcast, which will, I humbly say, single-handedly save the world. You're welcome.
It's Kennedy Saves the World.
Whether it's politics, parenting, or just mixing a great cocktail, I will provide the olives and the booze. You bring your cup so it can runneth over with a wonderful dialogue.
Kennedy Saves the World. Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com.
That's it.
Did you hear the news? Now you can. With instant updates from Fox News for Amazon Alexa, breaking stories and top headlines, daily coronavirus developments, the economy, and so much more. Brought to you by Fox News, America's #1 cable news network. Plus, setup couldn't be easier because everything's ready to go in the app. Just say,
Alexa, play news from Fox.
In Fox News.
It's the latest when you need it, on demand, from Fox News and Amazon Alexa.
Thousands of Israelis took to the streets of Jerusalem again as part of the weekly demonstration against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, his handling of the coronavirus crisis and the corruption charges he faces. Protesters waved Israeli and pink flags and had become a symbol of the protest movement through Jerusalem toward a square near Netanyahu's official residence. Smaller demonstrations took place elsewhere across the country. A doctor says conjoined twins in California have been separated during a landmark surgery. Fox's Gernal Scott with the story.
9-year-old twins Abigail and Michaela Baczynski were joined at the head, sharing skull and brain matter, an anomaly known as craniopagus twinning. The separation needed a day-long surgery to complete. The procedure took place at the Children's Hospital at the University of California, Davis. For such a complicated operation, doctors studied the case for months using 3D models and practiced the procedure several times. Such a conjoining is rare. Survival or separation by both children, even less likely. Bernal Scott, Fox News.
Walmart reverses this week's decision to hide guns from view, imposed after its store in Philadelphia was looted. Fox's Carmen Roberts reports.
2 days after Walmart directed store managers to remove guns and ammunition from the sales floor of its U.S. stores, the company says they can put them back on display. The giant retailer previously said it was removing firearms from view to prevent any potential theft amid social unrest, like what happened in Philadelphia after the police shooting of a black man. Walmart said in a statement Friday that current incidents have remained geographically isolated, so it's decided to return the products to the sales floor. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
And I'm Joe Cheer, Fox News.
Hey, trick-or-treaters in good shape early. We'll see cloudy skies, more clouds later on.
I'll tell you what, you get a t-shirt. Once you get a t-shirt, go right here to my dear friend Mr. Steve Bluford. And Bluford has all kinds of Bluefish Apparel has all kinds of t-shirts, all kinds of apparel, scoozies, everything that you want. Go check him out. Give him a call at 443-278-4853. That's 443-278-4853. The best crab cakes in town. I'm going to say the best crab cakes in town, okay? That's at the Krabby Greek. Krabby Greek. Hold on. Jesus Christ. Alright, the Krabby Greek, alright? It's 502 Washington Avenue in Towson. It's right up the alley, man. I'm telling you. Bill's going to be there. He's a great guy, family-oriented place, I'll tell you that. They're open from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday from 4 to 10 p.m., okay? They cater 7 days a week. From Greek-style octopus, which is excellent, to their 6-ounce crab cake. 6 ounce, man. You get a Fred Flintstone freaking crab cake. And the menu will appease all. It'll appease all. They will have entertainment outside on Friday nights with live Greek music, as you can sit. But as it's getting colder, they'll have it inside. So you have a table inside. You enjoy that, okay? For more information, call 410-494-9144. That's 410-494-9144. The Krabby Greek. Do it. And you'll never forget it.
Retirement Solutions in Annapolis and Towson. Call Ron Rowley 410
Hallelujah, man.
1120.
The business of
Solutions.com.
The views and opinions you hear on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and WCBM.com are not necessarily those of the owners, management, employers, and advertisers of WCBM. But they should be.
The Pat McDonough Show is brought to you by Super Citizen Radio. Super Citizen Radio on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Super Citizen Radio Show every Saturday night from 8 until 10 with Valerie McDonough, Pat McDonough, and our special guest, Patrick Gonzolas from Gonzolas Research. The Premier Polster is with us, and a couple of crazy things that just came up. In Texas, the Republicans are trying to nullify 117,000 votes, have a judge throw them out, because they were cast by something called drive-through voting. I'm not sure what that is.
It's probably like when you go to McDonald's, they hand you a ballot.
Hamburger and French fries.
And the hamburger and French fries.
Well,
The burger's legal, but the French fries, you know.
I've been to the brew-through in North Carolina, and you drive through, and they hand you a 6-pack of beer, and you give them a $10 bill. But maybe it's the same principle. I don't know.
Drive-through voting. I mean, if they're legitimate, we drop boxes, right? We drop our votes into the boxes that we have. That's legal. So I don't know. We'll see about that. But we're going to hear we're going to be inundated.
Yes.
Inundated.
That's why I'm saying that's why I'm saying we might not have the results Tuesday night.
You did say that earlier. But in Patrick's theory, if it's 20 million sleeping giant out there, that it'll be so overwhelming it won't even matter. But I think we're going to be inundated with these kinds of cases on both sides. But you also said, and this falls under breaking news, if you want to clarify this, if you want to pick it up on your computer, you said that the governor has declared a state of emergency. That's pretty dramatic. What does that mean?
He was talking about COVID. He said it's back, the numbers are back up. But he did not say that he was going to close anything down yet.
Well, what does a state of emergency mean? I mean, that sounds pretty scary.
I don't want to pretend like I know what it means, but it might be sort of a technical thing where you declare it and it involves federal assistance. It could be something. I saw this morning the exact same thing, and I said, what? But maybe it's that. I don't think that any new restrictions have been
if anybody knows what that means, it sounds pretty scary. State of emergency. Give us a call and let us know. And before we get to Bernie's voters, Bernie's bros, let us talk with Laurie. Laurie, good evening.
Hi. I voted this week.
Congratulations.
And a lot of the stuff they said wasn't there. I didn't see a whole lot of plexiglass. You didn't keep the pen. You used the pen that was laying on the table. You were within about 6 feet apart from the people that were taking you over to the polling place. But 25 minutes tops from the time I got into line until I voted.
Where did you vote, Laurie?
Down in Turner's. Because we had to get
Solers Point?
Turner Station.
Turner Station.
Where the old school used to be, that's now like a community center. And
well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm, really, I wish that was a much bigger turnout down there.
Well, I mean, they're not using schools, but it was people, but they were very efficient. These people had it run efficiently. And it was funny because this lady was behind me, and she asked me, was I voting for Trump? And I kind of stared at her, and her husband said, you're not supposed to say that. So I looked at her and I said, are you voting for Trump? And she said, yeah. And I said, Trump, 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 Trump. It's your Trump boy. The lady said, good. You're a Trump fan.
Well, here's why I'm concerned, Laurie. That is definitely, the poll you're talking about is definitely Trump territory.
Well, I mean, so the lady was a Trumpster. I mean, and nobody else asked anything. And you know what? I care so much. I did not give out candy, and I haven't for years, but I didn't give out because they said, you really shouldn't do candy. That's what I would call that.
Yeah.
I didn't see kids having face coverings. I didn't see parents. Now, this is what I'm going to say. When we got an outbreak in Dundalk, is it Trump's fault?
Trump did the ballots.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry, I coughed in your ear. But no, we didn't say. Well, we gave away a can of oil and a battery to children.
CBM, the Pat McDonough show was calling.
But I mean, they were saying,
we felt that was better than candy.
Go to TBM Pat McDonough show runs. I was speaking. Who's calling?
Laurie, I wanted to tell you, we are going to
CJ.
get you Johnny O. Must Go sign. We haven't forgotten.
Please, because like I said, I stood outside the other week for Trump, and matter of fact, my phone time is on my porch. So when the trick-or-treaters were
Oh, man. Hey, what would you like to talk about, CJ?
Well,
I'm not scared. You know what? I'm Christian.
Social Security.
If somebody told me I couldn't talk about God,
You got it.
I would die for God.
Okay, you hold on. We'll get you right on.
My God-given right is to vote for who I am.
Woo!
I put my tongue side out. And if it costs me my life, then so be it, because I'm going up. Because I'm an American, and I have the right to choose, and I choose.
all right. Well, Laurie, I can tell you, we were busy this week with that event we had, and next week we have something special we got to take care of. But we've got 2 years to work on Johnny O, but we'll get it to you.
Well, I'll tell you what, I will stand on the corner where I will be for Veterans Day with my sign thanking the veterans, like I do for 9/11, and I will stand out there on my corner with my ho-ho, oh no, Johnny O has got to go, and I will hold my sign.
Okay, honey. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, that's Laurie. So, got some calls here. Let's take some of these calls, and then we'll talk with Patrick Gonzolas about the the Bernie Sanders vote, which is very interesting, by the way. So let's talk with Bart. Bart, good evening. Okay, Bart was on a long time. Bart, call us back. So we'll go right to CJ.
WCBM. Ron Savage speaking.
CJ, good evening.
Who's calling?
Hey, hi, CJ. How you
How
doing?
you doing?
Good evening. What's on your mind tonight, CJ?
I heard on the radio, it was a station, one of the borrowers in office, he stole millions of dollars from the Social Security. I thought he was a changed man.
Got it. Hold on there, Paul. We'll get you right on.
Obama's a changed man. That'll be the day.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's what I heard, you know. I don't know how true it is, but somebody must be saying that it's not true. It's not true, you know.
No, I don't think so. CJ, thank you for calling, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, Obama, a changed man. What do you think, Patrick?
It's, a leopard typically doesn't change.
No. He's been upset for 4 years because the truth has finally been told, even though it's not reported in the Democrat news.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Trump has sure inserted Obama into this election. He repeatedly mentions him during his rallies and stuff. And in some ways, perhaps...
Oh, boy, it's a hell of a show tonight, man.
That's a good thing.
Welcome to the second hour of power. The second hour of power.
On not just the former vice president who's the nominee, but also kind of the way of the world the past, what, eight years prior to Trump taking office. And we can kind of have all this
He's correcting all of Obama's mistakes. You can't help but mention him.
Well,
Paris Accord.
Eugene boycott?
Iran nuclear
the Iran bribe deal. The deal with Mexico.
You got it.
NAFTA deal. All that
Trump's already turned NAFTA into...
Well, he owns lines that I'll put this line on.
Yeah, and it's working for us for once.
Right.
And it's working for the
other
guys.
Hold on,
exactly.
Eugene, hold on.
Why do these politicians like Obama and these other socialists negotiate deals that always work for the other guy?
Because it benefits them somewhere up the line.
No, because it destroys America.
It destroys
their
America.
Job is their objective, their mission, their goal, their ideal is to destroy America. And every deal they get into is based on that.
Let me offer a little slightly different view. Their objective, their goal is to feather their own nest.
Oh, that's always part of it.
That's exactly correct. And their family.
Let me finish.
Make them dynasties.
Feather their own nest, and if selling out America is part of it, so be it.
No, I disagree.
Okay. All right, I'm going to get you up there, Bruce, so get right on.
I agree with you 100% and Valerie 100% that feathering their own nest is very much part of it, without question. And of course,
Eugene's on line 9 now.
Biden is a question. Their real objective from their overlords, from their overseers, from their soul, is to weaken gradually creepinism, to destroy America. Look at every deal. The last three we just mentioned. Did the Iran deal help America? No, it weakened America. Did NAFTA for all of those years help America? No, it weakened America. Every deal you look at, there is the aspect of weakening America. And look what has happened. The results are there.
Pat, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I try to follow the precept of love thy enemy as I love myself. So I try hard. Lord knows I try.
Well, Pastor, let me say this to you. The God-given mission that I received was save America. Okay? That's my mission.
Amen.
And God said to me, the only thing you're going to save America, and the only way is truth and knowledge guarantee liberty. And son, you got to go forth and tell the truth and give them the knowledge, and it'll work. And I said, what's in it for me? I said, how much does it pay? He said, it pays nothing.
Yeah, it does. That's it.
Is it hard work? Oh, yes, it's very hard. But anyway, we are at the point now where we want to talk with our good friend who is a super citizen. This is a young man. We were talking about young voters. This is a young man, and he works for Baltimore County. I don't want to give you his full name, but this is Paul. Paul, good evening.
Hey.
Tell us your story, Paul.
Hey, Pat. So I was approached by supervisors. I work for Baltimore County Public Schools, and they both came to me and they said, "I see you have a Trump flag on your truck."
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's my personal vehicle. So they said that they gave me an ultimatum. They said you either need to take it down when you get to work, or you need to park off the property. If I don't comply, that I could face suspension or termination.
Wow.
Okay, so where does it stand now?
Well, I formally requested a written documentation from them stating where in the board policy it says that I can't have a Trump flag on my truck. and what they sent me was
What?
extremely vague at best.
Yes, I saw a copy of it.
Right, and that's pretty much it. In the email, they said they confirmed that I can't have the flag on my truck while on the property or park off the property. And then they sent me a quote-unquote the political activity restrictions in the email about you can't campaign during company time, which
yeah, well, that's all obvious, but they also compared the flag to a bumper sticker, that it was okay to have a bumper sticker.
Right. So when they came to me, I said, well, BCPS, BLM on the website, and I mean, I'm just trying to promote my country and our president with my truck. So I mean, and then they proceeded to tell me that BLM's not a political organization. I said, but it is politically motivated.
It's definitely a political organization. But also, wait a minute. Does the sign say? Does the flag say "vote for" or "elect"?
No.
Just says Trump.
Yes.
Okay. So if it doesn't say "vote for" or "elect," technically under the law, it's not political in the sense that, and political free speech is the highest form of free speech according to the Supreme Court judicial reviews of the Constitution. So you are, as you just put it, what you said was very interesting. You said you are supporting your president and your country. That's different than saying vote for or elect. You're simply promoting him because he is your president.
Right.
Yeah. So that's something that's interesting. That's a fine line that could be litigated.
Interesting.
And like I bluntly told them, I said, too many brave men and women who put on a uniform lost life and limb for us, and I'm not taking the flag off my truck.
Now, what is so you're not taking it off. You're going to drive in on Monday or whatever your next time with your flag onto the property, and what have they said they're going to do with you about that?
Well, I guess it's just, I guess I'm either going to call their bluff or I'm going to face some form of consequence, either suspension or a termination meeting.
Okay, so we will keep abreast of this unfolding saga. And if you have to go to the ultimate courts, we'll take care of that for you.
Great.
You know, we're suing Baltimore County Board of Education on 3 different matters already.
Wow.
We have a teacher who was a, what do you call them, Valerie, a temporary teacher?
Temporary teacher. When somebody comes out, they were the first.
Substitute teacher.
It was a substitute teacher. And they have different, from the way I understand it, they have different classifications of...
They're called at will.
Yes, but there's a different classification. And this person, because they were regarded and did such a wonderful job, he was always getting requested. You know,
his experience, he had a glorified, wonderful reputation in writing. He had been rewarded and awarded and all that. And then they fired him because he's at will. They don't have to give a whole lot of reasons, but they said it has something to do with what he posted on his Facebook, which we understand he was he's like a reenactor or something.
Yeah,
he's a historian. He was a specialist in the Civil War. And he had posted his thoughts about the statues, or maybe not even that, but about the Civil War.
The Daughters of the American Revolution or something
they,
like that.
They didn't like it.
Yeah, okay.
And so we're trying to find that out, so we're representing him.
Thank you very much.
And then, of course, we've got the Black Lives Matter, which is what Paul is talking about, which was a resolution illegally passed by the school board.
All right.
Broke their rules in the process of, and we want to knock that baby out right away. So this is what's happening to the Baltimore County School Board. This is education. All these children out there being abused. All right, thank you, Paul. Keep us abreast of what's going on.
Thank you, Pat.
All right, now we have to go for a break. We'll be right back. When your vehicle needs help, Jeff's Automotive Services is the place to go. Your vehicle will be worked on by Automotive Services.
McDonough showroom.
Certified technicians. Jeff services all vehicles, including cars, SUVs, trucks, both medium and light duty. And there are always specials available at Jeff's Automotive Services.
I'll tell them that right now.
410-682-5700. Jeff's Automotive Services is locally owned and conveniently located in the heart of Essex at 313 Mace Avenue. Jeff's is the winner of the Best Automotive Service Award for 2019 by the Avenue Newspaper's Readers Poll. Jeff's offers 10% discounts to all seniors and active military members and would like to thank our military members for their service. Jeff's Automotive Services has a name you can trust. Remember, call 410-682-5700 for Jeff's Automotive Services.
Right.
For by Bar Justice. Attention all women who have been diagnosed with ovarian cancer. In February and May 2016, Johnson & Johnson was ordered to pay $72 million and $55 million by two juries to two women who contracted ovarian cancer after years of using talcum baby powder products. If you or a family member has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer and use talcum powder prior to diagnosis,
I don't bother you know much, but I would call Scott Schellenberger's office and lay it on him. And if he belongs, like I said, to the union and all that, and he needs to get a hold of these.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a bunch of poo-poo caca.
Yeah.
If it said Biden would, they have been making such a list.
Oh, yeah, different story.
Yeah, so, but definitely I would get a hold of Scott Schellenberger.
Okay.
I think he's a really good, honest person.
Yeah.
And he also needs to call, he should call Johnny O's office. And, I would make some noise if I was him.
Yeah, I would.
And then, if they mess with them, guess what?
What?
You go after them for hostile work environment.
Yep.
Gotta do what you gotta do when they're assholes.
Oh, you know
What you gotta do.
Absolutely.
You can see I'm an earth star, okay?
Yeah.
I'm an now, man. You know what? Give them Hell Harry. Freaking give them Hell Harry. Like I said, kids were trick-or-treating. I didn't see a whole lot of people. But I sure as shit had my Biden, Trump sign hanging off my awning.
Hey, look, I gotta go, Lauren. I gotta see you.
Read it. Somebody don't like it. That's not my problem. That's my prerogative. I'm an American citizen. And, you know,
weekdays at 10 on Talk Radio 60 WCBM.
And the way I felt, I wanted to vote for Trump. I don't tell anybody what they should do. Ain't nobody gonna tell me.
And now
what
back
I'm
to
gonna
Super
do.
Citizen Radio on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
All right.
At WCBM.com.
All right, take it easy, sweetie. Bye-bye.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're having a lot of fun. We're getting some good callers in here. Young Paul called us about his Trump sign. I thought he said a fascinating thing. I am celebrating the President of the United States and my country, and he is the President of the United States. Doesn't say vote for Trump or elect Trump.
Why do all these clampdowns, these, insistence on a very precise approach to separation of whatever they're trying, politics and whatever? Why does it always, Pat, why does it always work one way? It always seems to be those that support people of your ilk, conservatives, are always on the receiving end of this. Why is that?
Well, because they're anti-liberty, they're anti-the American dream, they're anti-Constitution, they're anti-Bill of Rights, and they are basically a bunch of fascists.
And that is what is going to be reflected Tuesday night. People are coming out of the woodwork.
And that's what we're hoping, yes.
The metaphor,
Let me turn it
and
down.
they are going to...
hear what you said. Now, what are you talking about? Oh, the CPS.
I just remember.
Okay, hold on, Lord, we'll get you on.
Taking away their rights and preached. Laura called, she's got her Johnny O Must Go signs, we're getting them out there. Well, Johnny Olszewski is basically a socialist or an oppressor, a fascist, whatever you want to call him. Those people do what you just talked about. They deny liberty, and that's what America's all about. There is a bill. Now, everybody out there listening, okay, I want you to totally and fully listen. I want you to stand at attention. Stand at attention. I'm about to tell you something that is going... You can sit down, Patrick. That is going to happen. There is a bill that's coming in November... What is it?
November the 2nd. By...
November the 2nd on Election Day?
Yes, November the 2nd.
It's going to be introduced.
Yeah, because they don't want anybody to know about it.
They
So that's
want
what
this
they do.
one to go under the radar and slip it by. Now, where do you hear about this?
Well, wait a minute. And let me tell you who it's by. It's by Miss Kathy Bevins.
Don't forget about that. Forget about that.
I know. I want everybody to know who it is, though.
Councilwoman Kathy Bevins is nothing but a stalking horse. Johnny Olszewski. This is Johnny
stalking
Olszewski's
horse.
brain
That'd be a nice name for a bar.
And mission to destroy Baltimore County. All of you people who have every year your fairs and festivals all around the county, in Pikesville and the big Reisterstown Festival, all of you fraternal organizations like the Knights of Columbus and the Masons and everybody else who have your events and your carnivals, all of you little neighborhood people who have your little neighborhood fairs all around the county, guess what? They are creating a new Gestapo, a new organization called the Director of Permits. Now, you're going to have, if you want to put 2 trash cans out next to your lemonade stand for your daughter, you're going to get a permit, okay? And the permits are, you have to go through the police department, the health department, the public works department, and you got to go through 4 departments, along with the director, Gestapo, czar of permits in Baltimore County. They're going to shut down all of our celebratory activities in Baltimore County, and we're going to have to go through the police. There's going to be the politically correct police. You don't have enough trash cans. You don't have enough volunteers. So if you even get a permit, Baltimore County's government and bureaucracy will be your partner with your event. Just like in China, if you want to start a corporation or a business, you have to take the Chinese Communist Party as your partner. That's the law. Well, in Baltimore County, Johnny Olszewski's bureaucrats are going to be your partner at the Italian-American Heritage Fair.
Oh,
that's coming.
I'm wondering about that whole thing. Is each step in the planning, is that going to cost your permit to go up each time? Each time you go through, but I'm going to say the lock through the river.
Yeah, but let me tell you something else. Not only that, we have an event scheduled for the 19th of December.
Yes.
Now, how can you guarantee your mailers, your invitations, your outreach to your constituency when it's not going to be confirmed until the Gestapo puts their stamp on it?
Oh, man.
I mean, how can you even manage and promote community events until the Gestapo checks everything? I mean, look at this now. People can't get their unemployment. They can't get their SNAP proceeds.
I had a hard time.
Before agencies and wait for a reaction.
Now, the one thing I'm a little concerned about is she's worrying about all this stuff.
I'm not worried about her. It's Johnny O.
But you watch what I'm going to say. She's sitting there worrying about these permits that are being issued. How come she hasn't even gone by Vince's Crab House and talked to those protesters?
Well, this is Kathy Bevins, is the councilwoman who has never protected small business and has not protected Vince's Crab House.
And we all know.
But I want people to understand the reality, Valerie. I don't want to fuzz things up. I want people listening to understand that she is just a stalking horse.
Sure.
Johnny Olszewski, this is his policy. This is Bernie Sanderism. This is Joe Bidenism, okay? And it's in our county, and you better be ready when this election is over with Johnny O must go. This guy's got to go. All right, but anyway, we're very excited. We had to get that in because we just found out about it today. But that's what Super Citizen is all about. We are here to tell you things you don't know about.
On the cutting edge of what is happening.
Put that down, Steely. Put it down, Steely. Okay, now... my friend Eugene is coming on. Now, this is a young man running in Baltimore City for city council. We're going to talk about his race. We're going to talk about him, and we're going to talk about what's going on in Baltimore City, which to me is very exciting and very different. And I hope it works out. But more than that, also I hope that it continues in the future. So let us talk with Eugene. Eugene, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Pat?
Good. Spell your last name for me.
B-O-I-K-A-I.
B-O-I-K-O-I.
No. You got to spell my father's name. Right. B as in boy. O, ocean, Indian, king, apple, Indian. B-O-I-K-A-I.
All right, now pronounce it for me.
Boycott, like we boycott.
Oh, that's easy. Okay. Eugene Boycott, who is running for the city council in the
12th district.
12th district. Now, where is that, Eugene?
Anywhere from Broadway, when you're going down Broadway, cut up short, John Hopkins area, then we go all the way up to Mount Vernon, then we go into the
Mount Vernon
area. My area is the heart of East Baltimore. The heart of East Baltimore.
I was going to say that, yeah.
A lot of things happen.
Yes. And who is the incumbent that you're running against so people know who they want to get out of there?
We running against, this is how it's important for our party. We running against, I can't even say her name, Flanka, Chanka, whatever. We running against an individual that's coming out of, that's basically trying to fight this election. Because they see what I saw, the weakness in the Democrats of being an outsider when they are so focused on being an insider in the city of Baltimore. It's Flanka, I can't say her name because you know what? I don't care. She's more of a threat on the left side. She is buying this election, though. They are backing her. Over 100,000 and counting. She's using features. Then we have the junk that's just sitting there. These non-active alcoholics that like have a problem. Nobody likes them but the people and the organization that he.
Wow.
Over 15 billion now, these people who will scared. That's the people that back them. And then
Eugene, let me ask you something. What kind of phone are you on? You're not on a speaker, are you?
Yes, because I had to put it to my name to hear just to get on. Do you want me to put it out of speaker and try to hold it to my ear?
Yeah, because you're breaking up a little bit.
Okay, let me try to do this real quick. Can you hear me?
Oh, now you sound good. All right.
All right. I apologize for that.
Well, what are the issues? Is you're a city guy. You're running. You're a Republican, and we urge all the Republicans. We're going to give you Eugene's Facebook or his website, whatever, at the end, how to contact him. What are the issues with the city?
With the city, we all know the same typical issue. It's corruption. It's corruption and mismanagement. You really have no leadership in the city. You have people that sit and wait in line for their turn. That's it. I mean, I can't reinvent the wheel. You have mismanagement over 80 years.
Overwhelming mismanagement.
Overwhelming. See, this is the whole thing. But we as Republicans, we as conservative people, right? We think too rational. And this is what I'm trying to, articulate to the base. Eugene Boycott's not the typical Republican. I am a new Republican, new to the game. I have a personal vendetta, not because this is brand new. It's something that the the Democrat, pardon my language, the Democrat are already evicted. They've been sitting on guys like me, right? They make it harder. What I am is a straight black man. Dominated in a dominated city called Baltimore that is dominated by Democrats. Now, I'm not reinventing the wheel or anything. Like, pardon me for a second. I'm sorry. So, pardon me for a second on that. We down at Matt House here. But there's nothing new. The Democrats run Baltimore City. They manage.
They run it and they've mismanaged it and they've run it into the ground.
Horrible. Yeah, but this is the whole thing. They use systemic racism as if it's just a talking point too now. Most of these people that I'm telling you about are the outside. I actually live in Baltimore. I went through the struggle of Baltimore. I'm actually a black man in Baltimore. And I hate to play the race card, which I'm never going to play the race card, but I'm simple. Let Baltimore, let these people that are right in the legislation and are supposed to own it, let them grow up and own what they have created in over.
Yeah, they never take blame.
They never grow it up. Let's not be nice. They don't know how to manage nothing because they just been running on this idea. So racism is the answer to everything. Because you're black, you should be held down in a over 60% populated black community. And I always tell them, if anybody should be the
Hey Jordan, how you doing, man?
Of black excellence, if we so love black, or these black lives think matters or whatever, love black men so bad, then there wouldn't be black men killing black men on that. Because I walk out my house.
Yeah, and that's not an issue, right?
Ain't gonna get me today.
Oh, yeah.
I actually live in the neighborhood, so I'm saying this to all things. Sometimes you need to let.
Well,
people
look,
like
when they set it back, it'll be like.
Back us up. Because I mean, a fight.
Eugene, let me ask you this question. What do you?
Democrats are weak. They produce
when it's
nothing.
actually
Eugene, let me ask you
Okay,
this.
good deal.
What are you hearing? You're out there. I know you're out there on the streets every day, and you're
I
talking
sure
to
will.
people. What are you getting? What kind of feedback are you getting?
Oh, I'll tell you all about it.
They are
All
not
right.
happy at all. And this is
Take
why
care now.
my campaign has been so successful. It to stand on its own. They are not happy at all. This is the problem. There's never been a Republican like Eugene Boycott and this new base of Republicans. They're actually challenged the Democrat on our territory, at all. They never had a challenge like this, so they don't know what to do. What I'm hearing in the street is people are looking for options. Our problem is this: we never hit the ground and beat the Democrat. We always on the defense. So people are not happy. They're just looking for a different avenue. They're looking for a different.
They're looking for another option, and they never see it. They never see it. But now with you guys out there working hard, and you're in the streets and you're working in those neighborhoods, and you've experienced the same things they have. So they see of what would be called a viable option.
Yes, sir, and that's what we have to do.
That thing's
and that's
smoke break,
what
baby.
my campaign is all about. These Republicans, and pardon my language, I try to be nice about it. I really can't stand anything Democratic. I really cannot. We are not playing with
That's East
Eugene
Baltimore.
Boycott
That's
on
East
that
Baltimore.
same level as this on
Broadway.
People run
Right down
away
there.
from
This
that.
is East
And
Baltimore.
to a black man, you always got to be on the defense. I'm on suicide. I can't stand them. Nothing about the Democrat produces anything. The same president, Donald Trump, that they talking about, if it wasn't for my president, if it wasn't for state and federal, Democrats cannot function. It's 85% of the budget in Baltimore City. Think about that for a second, all right? Think about that. 85% of their economy is based on federal funding and state funding. What do you left with?
Yeah, so they're wasting our money.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's always been like that, though.
Eugene, we got to take a break, but let me ask you this. How can people get in touch with you? Is there a way they can get in touch with you?
Yes, sir. EugeneBoycott.com. That's Eugene. You should know how to spell that. Eugene is simple, but BOIKAI.com. Join the fight. I'm telling you now. Stop making excuses and down to these weak Democrats. It's time for us to get on the ground, be on the offense, because that's what Eugene Boycott is.
Eugene?
On the offense, I'm putting them against the wall. BOIKAI, EugeneBoycott.com. Reach out to me.
Eugene, good luck on election night.
I appreciate you, Pat. You know.
Well, that was Patrick Gonzolas, our pollster. And also, we're with you 100%. And let's hope you do well and you win. And if you don't, we'll get together in the future, because what is happening in Baltimore City, I think you've nailed it. I think you figured it out. The regular folks out there in the neighborhoods are just getting so frustrated and so tired of being taken advantage of and taken for granted.
Pat, we already won this election because
You did, really.
Never done before.
Yeah.
Ain't that something? We are already won this election.
Progress is winning, and that's what you've done.
Yeah, we just got to recalibrate how to hit them hard. Stop being nice. We don't need to be nice. I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative. I ain't being nice.
You're a patriot, too. You're a patriot.
Yeah.
And
I love America. I love my president, and God bless that man that's standing against ground. Eugene Boycott is with you, sir.
Thank you, Eugene. Thank you. Take care. We'll be in touch with you. All right, my friend. Take care. See, this is the kind of young people. Eugene, I think he was a little nervous being on the radio, but he is a energetic, smart guy.
No, absolutely. It's what
and he grew up in this, and they have not indoctrinated him.
It's what I hate about television. They try to, compress everything into a 30-second soundbite. Eugene's got a lot to say. And
he does, man.
He's trying to
They
get
couldn't put me in a 30-second soundbite, you know.
No, but he has a lot of passion.
No freaking way.
But he's right. They are already winning in Baltimore because there are 5 or 6 or 7 candidates in there. They're all young, and they're all energetic, and they're all Republicans, and they're out there in the streets. God bless them. They are in the streets. And they've got a lot of energy. They're being totally ignored. If I owned the Baltimore Sun, I would sell it because it only has 50,000 readers. It's dying. It's going down the toilet. And I mean, the print is so cheap you can't even wrap fish with it anymore. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, that to me would be a story. But of course, they'll never print that story, Patrick. They'll never print that story.
And that probably, in my estimation, is
break?
one of the big failings of the last 4 years. Not so much the faux news that they have reported, but it's what they have, what they turn a blind eye.
Yeah, the censorship of omission.
Exactly.
And that the biggest censorship of omission that ever existed in the history of the world is Biden the thief not being covered anywhere in the world.
Amazing. That is yes.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's it. We got to take a break here, and I think Ron, our producer, set up.
Real quick.
So we are going to take a break though, and we'll come back for our final segment.
All right, thank you. Hold on.
And I'll mention to you, don't forget, put this in your calendar now, December the 19th. It's a Saturday breakfast at the Knights of Columbus. Remember Columbus?
Yeah.
I knew him. He was a good man. We'll take a break. That's on Blair Road at Perry Hall. We'll be right back.
Any trick-or-treaters in good shape early will see partly cloudy skies, more clouds later on. Fall back to around 40, and we are looking at some coastal flooding concerns for the evening hours. Don't forget, roll the clocks back an hour. We've got a frontal system moving through for Sunday. It's going to bring the rain, and we'll get up only into the mid to upper 50s. Stray showers early for Sunday night. Gradual clearing. The overnight low falls back to around 35. The wind's also dying down throughout the night. Mostly sunny and cool Monday. Jeff Eno for the Weather Channel for Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Are you always apologizing for your dog's behavior? Need help communicating? At K9 Concepts, we can solve your problems. The answer to your problems is a phone call away. Call 410-477-2000 for a free demo evaluation. Call 410-477-2000. Obedience, protection, handicapped assistance, boarding, grooming, puppy preschool. Visit K9Concepts.com. The best for your dog. Call 410-477-2000.
Paid for by Bar Justice. Attention all women who have been diagnosed with ovarian cancer. In February and May 2016, Johnson & Johnson was ordered to pay $72 million and $55 million by 2 juries to 2 women who contracted ovarian cancer after years of using talcum baby powder products. If you or a family member has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer and used talcum powder prior to the diagnosis, call Talcum Powder Help Now today at 800-837-0065. 800-837-0065. That's 800-837-0065.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
WCBM reaches all types of entrepreneurs, businesses, associations, and specialists. Now is your chance to explain live, by way of your own radio show, exactly how your business or association can benefit the WCBM listener through block time. You control the dialogue. You control the subject matter. You control your own results. This is a great opportunity that WCBM can give to you. For more information, call 410-580-5231.
Every day, Doctors Without Borders teams confront hard facts in conflict and crisis zones. When others might look away, we step in to act. Because measles still kills more than 100,000 children every year. We're there to vaccinate over 1 million worldwide, including those affected by the current outbreak in Democratic Republic of Congo. Because half of all maternal deaths occur during delivery or within 24 hours. We've assisted more than 1.4 million births around the world, including care for new mothers in Afghanistan. Because some countries only have 1 or 2 mental health professionals, we offer counseling and clinical care, providing over 400,000 mental health consultations worldwide last year, including care for migrants and refugees on the dangerous journey north from Central America. The fact is, your acts of care and compassion make our life-saving work possible. Picture the impact we can have together. DoctorsWithoutBorders.org.
Listen every Sunday from 6:05 to 6:20 a.m. for a broadcast from the internationally known St. Jude Shrine in Baltimore. St. Jude is the patron saint of despair and hopeless cases. Join us in prayer every Sunday from 6:05 to 6:20 a.m. on WCBM.
For the safety of students, families, and teachers, schools across our country are closing.
School closures can have significant and lasting consequences, particularly for vulnerable students who may face hunger, homelessness, and even trauma.
That's where our organization, Communities in Schools, can help. For years, we've had...
All right, already. Here we have 1 minute at school.
With online classrooms and using technology to maintain the one-on-one relationships we know can transform the lives of students and their families.
Communities in Schools, going wherever we are needed, doing whatever it takes to empower students to succeed in school and in life.
To see how you can help kids succeed, visit communitiesinschools.org.
Here we go.
Back to Super Citizen Radio on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Our next TV show is actually all the way until November, the end of this month. Now we're coming into November on the 29th. So that's our next TV show. We'll be talking about that. Let's get us... Oh, no, I want to talk to you, Patrick.
Yes, sir.
The Bernie Sanders votes. Now, here is what I saw after those crazy Democrat primaries, and Sanders had endorsed Biden, who survived. If Bernie would have won that primary, that's pretty amazing. If it wasn't for Elizabeth Warren staying in there. But anyway, after the primaries were over and after Bernie endorsed Biden, I think it was Gallup and Wall Street Journal, they did a poll, and 25% of the folks who vote for Bernie and support Bernie said they would not vote for Biden.
Yeah, no, we saw some of that last time with the, and I think the trade issue is the one issue
where they agree,
where Bernie and Trump agree. And yeah, I don't know what the hard number was last time, but when I heard 25%, that doesn't surprise me. And I would not be surprised. Look, it is my contention that when all is said and done, you've got the independent vote, okay, but you've got the Democrats and you've got the Republicans. I submit that when all the votes are counted, more Democrats will have voted for Donald Trump than Republicans will have voted
for... Oh, my God. Trump is at 90%.
The never-Trumpers are out there, and they're well-known.
10%.
I'm talking about people like George Will and Bill Kristol, people whose feelings have been hurt.
Yeah, the establishment phonies.
Yeah, the establishment phonies is right. But I think there is. I think there's going to be because they're kind of hit with the same thing a lot of Trump supporters are, which is sort of a disaffection for the way things have been run for quite a while in this country, and the way the United States of America has been on the short end of a lot of these deals that have feathered the nest of a few individuals at the expense of you, me, and a whole bunch of other Americans.
The country.
Exactly.
And that bunch, that 10%, those never Trumpers, to tell you the truth, they're never Americans.
Well,
they want that deal where every time we make a global deal, it hurts America.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk with Brenda. Where is old Brenda there? Brenda, good evening.
Hey, Pat. You know I just love you, and I think you need to be the governor of Maryland because you're just like Donald Trump. Thank you for informing us, giving us the truth, and Eugene was wonderful.
Yeah.
I like his energy.
Oh, he's got a lot of energy.
Thank God for you, Pat McDonough. We love you, and if I was a millionaire, I'd put it up for you.
We have to talk.
You're great, Pat.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you, and take care. All right, that's Brenda. Okay, let's talk with Roy in one of my favorite places. What happened to Valerie? Where did she go?
Smoke break.
She knows we're doing a show, right?
No.
But where'd she go? This is the Pat McDonough and Valerie McDonough show.
That is the cross that you must bear, my friend.
This is the Pat McDonough and occasionally the Valerie McDonough show.
Right.
All right, she'll return shortly. I'm sure she's on a mission of goodwill somewhere. All right, well, where are we? Let's talk with Roy. Roy, good evening.
Good evening, Pat. How are you, buddy?
Oh, we're doing well, thank you.
I just had to call in after you had that story about Paul's little encounter with Baltimore County Schools and Trump. I did work at a large high school in Dundalk, actually at the old and new complex.
Yeah, you worked with the Board of Education when it was great.
Yeah, I was at the Board of Education for 31 years and 9 months, actually. In April 2016, the then principal of Dundalk High School, a woman who should never have been appointed to that job, invited the League of Women Voters to set up in our cafeteria to sign up students to vote when they would turn 18 at voting time. Well, the problem with that was that they had donkeys all over the table. They were giving away little donkey stickers and things. I said, wait a minute. There's two sides to this story. There's Republicans and there's Democrats. So I would wear a Trump shirt occasionally, and I would talk to kids about the Republican side of politics.
Yes, go to a Maryland election vote and it says
I'm with her sticker on her shirt didn't like that. So she created such a hostile workplace for me over the next week or two that finally I went in one morning and I just quit.
Can register up to the day of voting?
I didn't need to be treated like this.
And who was this harassing you?
The principal was on my high school at the time, and she was a Hillary supporter.
Till election day.
She always wore "I'm with her" sticker on her shirt or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
never really said Hillary. It just said "I'm with her."
That's enough.
Okay, I'm going to give them that.
Well, the Black Lives Matter, they passed a resolution in Baltimore County supporting Black Lives Matter. It was not passed legally or lawfully, didn't go through the process.
I'm going to do that now because we're
and
on the show.
after the holidays are out of the way and our law firm goes in there and knocks that out, makes it null and void, boy, are they going to raise heck all over Baltimore County. All the libs, or libtards as we call them, all of them and all the lefties are going to rise up and say, oh my God, this is terrible. This is terrible.
What happened was, so I went in one morning and I quit. I called my supervisor and I said, I quit today. So we went up and seen her, and she said, you can't quit just like that. I said, what do you think this is, Russia or Kazakhstan? I said, I quit. I quit. So what happened after that was incredible, Pat. My house was like a one-piece drive-through. I had parents stopping by. What happened?
No, I know you're very popular in Dundalk. Very popular.
My kids loved you. What happened? I told the story. Well, I was told then that a whole group of parents went to Greenwood and had her removed.
There you go.
So,
well, that's what just happened on the Eastern Shore with Giordana Schiffarelli. They're getting this one down there removed. She's out temporarily, but they're getting rid of her. But that's great. That's a wonderful story. Now, we have to have full disclosure. We know Roy very well, and he's helped us in the past and worked with us. And I'll tell you, I was in the Dundalk Parade, which we now have to get special permits from the Gestapo to have the great traditional Dundalk Parade.
I know, man.
And Roy was with us with his trucks, and we had our music and all these people that knew Roy.
He's the mayor of Dundalk.
He could be if they had a position as mayor of Dundalk.
Still hold you on
he
to
would
that
win.
show, right?
There would be no
I've
opposition.
never seen one man get so many awards in all my life as Roy.
Yeah, and that's 31 years in Dundalk, every generation.
Oh, and another thing about Roy, I was talking about earlier tonight, we were talking about Lost in Space.
Right.
This is the fellow that I was talking about that has the...
Oh, you won't be able to...
the robot.
The robot, yeah.
Danger, danger,
Yes.
Will Robinson, Will Robinson.
Yes, he's the one who had it. And for many years it sat at the diner in Dundalk.
Because I gotta shut him in. Right.
So, Roy, I didn't know that part of the story. It's so wonderful that you shared that with us.
Okay,
and that just shows you that it takes one knucklehead, and these lefties are knuckleheads. They're always against people. They always want to have an advantage of some type over everybody else. And there's always a double standard, right?
Yeah, and Roy is a true super citizen and an American patriot.
I appreciate it. Let me tell my story tonight, Pat. You and Valerie both have a great rest of your night.
You too. Thank you very much, Roy. Yeah, what a great guy. Well, we're running out of time, Patrick Gonzolas. We'll have you back again if Trump wins. And
well, I appreciate you allowing me to come and join you tonight. I had a wonderful time, as I did at the Super Citizen event Thursday night.
You are going to be at our Super Citizen event on the 19th.
Hillary and I will be there.
I'm only kidding. You can come back even if Trump doesn't.
Okay, I will gladly come back. And no, I had a great time, and I want to thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Ron Savage. Always remember, truth and knowledge guarantee liberty. Keep the faith and keep punching.
Amen.
Mark Leno? Yeah, it's Mark Leno. Definitely the Mark Leno. He also called Pat Show? Is that a different one?
Yeah, he was called, but he couldn't get on.
Stay connected with stimulating talk and breaking news on Talk Radio 680 WCBM, Baltimore, and WCBM.com.
They're battling hard in the battleground states. I'm Salgene Press on Fox News. President Trump and Joe Biden, Election Day on Tuesday, campaigned in key battleground states. The president told the crowd in Butler, Pennsylvania, that he signed an order to protect.
Moments ago, I signed an order to protect Pennsylvania fracking.
To make sure Ryan gets his pens back.
Rally of the day in Montoursville, Pennsylvania, Saturday night. Former Vice President Joe Biden campaigning with former President Barack to the Supreme Court, despite how it would affect Americans everywhere.
If they get their way, 100 million Americans will lose protections for pre-existing conditions, including more than 4 million Michiganders. Donald Trump thinks health care is a privilege. Barack and I think it's a right.
Biden and Obama also campaigned in Detroit. England will enter a new lockdown as UK coronavirus cases pass 1 million. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson announces that the government is putting all of England under a month-long lockdown next week, after being warned that a resurgent coronavirus outbreak will overwhelm hospitals in weeks without tough action. Meantime, Spain's Prime Minister condemns a series of violent protests in cities across that country against restrictions imposed to curb the surge of COVID-19 after a 6-month state of emergency came into effect this week. A super typhoon with catastrophic violent winds slammed into the eastern Philippines early Sunday. About 1 million people evacuated in its projected path. And don't forget to set your clocks back 1 hour at 2 a.m. local time as Standard Time returns. America is listening to Fox News.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Stay on top of the latest news and information from Fox News. Listen and download the Fox News Hourly Update on your time. The trending stories you need anytime you want it. Listen and download now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. This Election Day, America is listening to Fox News Radio for complete coverage. Starting at 6 p.m. East, it's The Campaign with Brett Baer and Verino and Steyerwalt. I'll Tell You What, followed by live Democracy 2020 coverage led by national correspondent Jared Halpern, political analyst Josh Krausar, and Fox News Radio reporters from around the country, along with Fox News Channel contributors and experts. Download the Fox News app and just click listen at the bottom of the screen to hear it live. The Fox News Rundown is a weekday morning podcast that dives deep into the major and controversial stories of the day. Hosted by the anchors of Fox News Radio. Subscribe now to hear a perspective of news you won't find anywhere else. Listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com.
President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden look into Wisconsin as an essential state to to win the 2020 election.
The president will make a stop in Kenosha with the final day of campaigning. Wisconsin proved unpredictable in 2016 as Trump squeaked out a win, and both sides are showing they want it in 2020. Republican volunteers in Wisconsin have knocked on 2 million doors. They've made 10 million phone calls. With coronavirus concerns, Democrats have put a lot of emphasis on electronic outreach. Political action committees have done some door knocking for the Democrats, as Biden and the Democrats are demonstrating they don't want to lose Wisconsin again. Now, Trump's win was a little less than 1% as the Clinton campaign largely ignored the Badger state in the general election. Biden goes into the final days here with a lead in the polls, but it's pretty much the same lead that Clinton had back in 2016.
That's Fox's Mike Tobin. A recent Marquette Law School poll shows Biden with a 5% lead over President Trump. The Navy staged a successful American hostage rescue operation in Western Africa early Saturday.
The American hostage, 27-year-old Philip Walton, had been taken hostage by armed gunmen in Niger earlier this week. I'm told the mission took on extra urgency after concerns that Walton would be traded or sold to other terrorists in neighboring Nigeria where the rescue took place.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. President Trump tweeted that the operation was a big success, with more details to come. A New York City man who spent 29 years behind bars had his murder conviction vacated Friday.
Prosecutors asking to throw out the conviction of Gerard Dahman. He was jailed for the murder of a man outside of a club. Prosecutors say their only eyewitness had a serious mental health condition that was never disclosed to defense lawyers. That eyewitness pointing the finger at Dahman for the murder, and prosecutors ran with it. But cops never found a crime scene, and no one in the area even reported gunshots. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
I'm Sergio Grasso, and this is Fox News.
Any trick-or-treaters in good shape early. We see partly cloudy skies, more clouds later on. Fall back to around 40, and we are looking at some coastal flooding concerns for the evening hours. Don't forget, roll the clocks back an hour. We've got a frontal system moving through for Sunday. It's going to bring the rain, and we'll get up only into the mid-to-upper 50s. Stray showers early for Sunday night. Gradual clearing. The overnight low falls back to around 35. The wind's also dying down throughout the night. Mostly sunny and cool Monday. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel for Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt? Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs. Call Civic Tax Relief for free information now. Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs you qualify for free. Just call 800-841-0908.